Griffin McElroy.
Nick Robinson?
That's me. That's right.
For a second there, I couldn't remember.
I'm Nick Robinson, and I'm here to welcome you to Pitbull Simulator 2015. Dolly.
God, I would give anything to be able to think of a title of a Pitbull song right now, so we can have a little word fun.
Yep, I can't. I'm coming up empty too. But yeah, this is Triad Wars. We are here in a boat with our uncle, and this game is I can't remember if Sleeping Dogs is technically in the title, but this is very, very much a Sleeping Dogs universe game. So first off, tell me what you think Triad Wars is, just based on, like, what you've heard.
I know it's kind of like an online Sleeping Dogs, right?
That's how they build it, right? Like, that's what I definitely thought it was going to be. So check this out. This is the beta. I should say that right up front. But it's not a multiplayer game.
Wait,
not really.
What?
It's a single-player, asynchronous, Sleeping Dogs free-to-play game, is what it is. Straight up.
Asynchronous in what? What way?
Griffin, this game is crazy. So, okay, so first off,
I just got a text notification. I got punched.
Yep.
Is that what we're dealing with?
F2P, free to punch. So first of all, this combat is like straight up Sleeping Dogs, which is fine. Like, I really remember liking. Oh, that guy just fell in from the sky. It plays like Sleeping Dogs, which is fine. I really enjoy that, right? Like, it's good combat, but yeah, it's just very, very much not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was MMO Sleeping Dogs, and it is single player Sleeping Dogs, right down to the fact that it is, as best I can tell, the exact same city as in the first Sleeping Dogs. Like, everything is the same counter system right out of Batman, the same slow punches. It's pretty weird. Like, I remember, there's one point in this, not in this video, but where I died and respawned, and it was the exact same hospital that I remember from the first Sleeping Dogs. There's the same vendor who will, like, run up to you and say, "Why don't you have a pork bun in your hand?" Remember that guy?
Oh, no, I never played Sleeping Dogs. Should I have said that at the top of the video?
That's a good warning. But Sleeping Dogs is a game where you fight dudes like Batman, and there are really weirdly violent...
Sorry, no, Batman doesn't do that shit, Nick.
No, really just oddly violent executions that feel really out of place. Those are bad.
Wowzers.
But sometimes you just throw a human man in a trash can. So
but that's almost fun. That's almost like River City Ransom fun.
Yeah, the hijinks really span from... Goofy, tossed you down an elevator shaft, to I just put you on a hook that went through your chest and now you're dead immediately.
Holy shit.
Isn't that crazy?
That was some manhunt shit, dude. Okay,
I don't know why nobody talked about it. So here's the free-to-play stuff. Well, actually, not quite. There's a little bit of it. You see hints of it with, like, the downgrade system where you use gold to, like, respec points. But basically, you just put upgrades into different categories, and you get new abilities over the course of leveling up just naturally, no matter where you put those points. There's our uncle. And there's just, like, the faintest hint of story stuff, and there's that corpse also, just pinned to the table. But it's weird, because, like, the customization is extremely limited. Like, you saw at the top, I was just picking between, like, oh, hold on, let me do this real quick.
Nicholas!
It's part... You don't shoot the messenger on this. This is part of the game. So, like, no customization, though, really. Like, you pick between 3 preset dudes, and you go to a store later where you can buy one of 6 shirts, and you can actually buy new faces. There's like 6 faces.
Is there, first of all, that's amazing. Have you cut those faces off of your enemies with a jigsaw?
Whenever possible, that's the approach I've been taking.
Nice. This game is thematically bonkers. It's like, let's do some Miami Vice like table slides, and then let's attach a man's head to some plywood.
It's so weird. And you know what's weirder too? Like, that was right out of Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs had the exact same super violent executions, but I don't really feel like I ever heard anyone talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like so, like, the game is so jokey and light and like action movie-ish, and then you just like put a drill through a dude's ear while he screams.
This game seems weird so far, and not just because of that shit, but like, the UI kind of looks like a free-to-play game, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, like, this...
But I'm playing it with a controller. Like, I immediately, within 2 minutes, was like, oh, I need to be using an Xbox controller to play this like an Xbox game.
I guess I didn't think about, like... usually whenever you hear about, like, free-to-play games on you know, occasionally on PC and on console, You don't think of it like free-to-play games on mobile, right? Like, I don't think of like PlanetSide 2 or Neverwinter as looking like. But this kind of looks. I don't know. Maybe it's just the leveling system looks like it. But.
That feeling will only exacerbate as we get into the kind of core thing of the game. So I mentioned that it was like asynchronous multiplayer. What that means is that in your city, there are 5 or 6 other people who are not really there, but are placed in different like hideouts throughout the city. And what you do is you level up your personal sort of hideout with different rackets that you're doing. So like you could have like a cockfighting ring, you could be making drugs probably.
God, you're such a gangster, Nick.
Yeah, those are the 2 main things in my life.
I'm guessing you've invested in cockfighting, considering that's the one you're most confident about.
Right, yeah, I'm all about that
For
lifestyle.
shame.
So here's an
shame.
example of how the whole turf thing works, right? So this is a fake guy. This is just the one that they put you through the tutorial. He's got a few rackets all over his zone here. He's got a minibus racket.
Seems like a weird racket.
Mm-hmm.
Is the minibus full of corpses?
There's a cute dumpling racket that we're looking at.
How is that crime?
I don't think they're necessarily all crime. So Jumbo Young is who we're going for.
Okay, so Jumbo Young is just an enterprising small business owner, and you're gonna go fucking.
Oh, I'm
drill
gonna
his
put
head in.
all of his henchmen's head up against some drills. That's the game. That's what you do. But yeah, so how it'll work is like, this is basically how the raids work. You're going into some dude's place and fighting a bunch of just AI-controlled normal video game bad guys, and beating their heads with phones. That one's kind of playful, right? Like, that's kind of cutesy in a way.
Yeah, it's adorable. But there's no like simultaneous multiplayer.
No, and I looked into it. There's like one blog post from the developers saying that they've built the game in such a way that maybe someday in the future you'll be able to do 2-player co-op raids. But
That's interesting. I mean, it's a cool idea. I feel like that is becoming like the most fashionable form of asymmetrical multiplayer nowadays. How much like customization do you have for your fortress? Do you like actually decide where everybody stands, or
no, nothing like that I've seen. It's really more just like it's on a grid. I'll show you that in a little bit, but like there's a grid-based thing. You can lay down your different rackets in different areas, and you can kind of upgrade them. You saw that when I leveled up, I got to put a skill point into like running faster, but you can also put those into making your henchmen tougher. And then I guess the idea is you'll log back into the game at a later date and be like, oh, like 3 people came through and raided your stuff, and you lost some in-game currency. And also there's a lot of timers, too, that you'll see, as you might expect.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Yeah, I mean, like, what you said about the sort of free-to-play HUD elements, there's only more of those from here. But it's weird. It's a weird product, because Sleeping Dogs 1 was a really fun game, and I think the combat here is, like, really fun and feels like a, like, polished AAA $60 video game, kind of. It's just, all the stuff around it is what's weird. And, like, it sets you up in the first hour to really see where it's going to start nickel and diming you and putting you up against these time limits. Like, there are a few systems in place that are pretty apparently just for the express purpose of making you wait or paying gold.
Have you? Can you do that stuff now? Like, can you spend money on it despite the fact that it's in beta?
You can. It's like $5 for, I don't remember a set number of gold. I've had some. Another thing I should probably point out too is it's a little glitchy in this beta. You might have seen some dudes fall in from the sky. One time I had the game crash when I was customizing my character, and then a little thing popped up that was like a crash report. Type your bug in here, and I did that. It hit submit, and then that thing crashed. So. Yeah.
How many levels deep does it go?
It's full-on Inception. Then my computer crashed. My car crashed.
Your house just sort of dissolved around.
Yeah. Oh, hey Griffin, check this out.
Oh, Nicholas.
I mean, when it lights up red like that, it's like his head's on fire. You kind of gotta.
That's not even how heads work. Have you never? Hey, developers of Triad Wars, have you never cooked anything on a grill?
Have you ever cooked a man on a grill? Is a better question.
No, but I've cooked like a steak, and it doesn't just like catch fire in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that would be a bad grill.
Stay on fire.
Well, you're probably not using a murder grill.
That's true. I don't have. Yeah, I didn't opt for that upgrade.
Oh, look at this.
Nope. Whoop. Nope. Whoop. Whoop. Nope. There you go. But
I'm a real sneaky man. I mean, again, like. Beta, right? So I can pull hot exploits like these and just
this is your Destiny cheese. Like this is your here's the rock to hide behind if you want to get this no deaths trophy.
Yeah, it's a loot cave, but for drilling dudes in the head.
Well, that's also what the loot cave was. Now you're just boring me, Nick. I expect high quality, high octane video action.
Check this out. I'm gonna try to do some karate moves on this man.
Don't put his head in the incense thing.
Griffin, I regret to inform you this is an invincible man, so I will not.
So you won't be putting his head anywhere.
No, but I will make him bleed a little much.
Oh my god. Is that an upgrade that this person purchased? I want Thor, the unkillable, in my base.
He's a special invincible man that can, like, sort of designed to suck up your bullets. So we're going to go up here and we are going to take on the kind of head of this fortress. And that's kind of the loop of this game, right? Is like you target human enemies fortress. This guy's just kind of the main default guy. Try to raid their place within a time limit, and then kill them and take a bunch of their stuff. And then you get a bunch of, like, one of about 80 different currencies. And then use those to upgrade your own fortress. Check this out. That's my favorite part. That is probably my favorite thing that's ever happened in a video game. I just wanted to share that with you. So good looking.
Oh, man.
Spinning right around.
I gotta say, that Jenny Craig program you're in, Nick, has been working wonders for you. But only at certain angles. Wow, you just kicked all the blood out of him.
Yep, I did it. I knocked over his chair, too, to boot. And my uncle's yelling swears. It's really a very M-rated free-to-play experience.
A little too M-rated, would you say?
I mean, that's on you. If you can't handle this hot manhunt carnage, that's a Griffin problem. That's not a Triad Wars problem.
I guess that's fair. I want to see some base customization elements. I want to see.
Well, guess
how much like Animal Crossing is it?
None. I mean, none. Just none at all. Any satisfaction you'd want to get from placing furniture or just really making the place your own.
A kindly bipedal elephant walk by and critique your shit and then give you a t-shirt.
Okay, I'll tell you this. He won't, but if he did, I would put his head on the table and put a drill through it. Because that's the way the game is.
I won't let you ruin my favorite game franchise of all time for me.
So here we go. Here's where it starts to get real free to play. So you can kind of upgrade your safe house to make it larger, give you more sort of squares in a grid. Here's where you pick a racket. I've got cockfighting, like counterfeiting currency, and extorting dumpling makers.
You're the worst person. You're the worst person.
I'm going down the darkest of all the paths available to me. So you'll kind of pick whichever one of these. They all seem to do kind of the same thing, as best I can tell, and then just drop it somewhere in there. And then when an enemy raids your base, they'll like run up in your area and kind of fight all the dudes in these rooms. And once all the dudes in that room have been fought, look at that timer.
There it goes.
Then that sort of racket counts as being busted, and they get more stuff at the end of their little mission.
I'm guessing the timers get longer.
Check this out. I'm going to try to get some money from my dumpling extortion rackets. I'm going to hit A on it, and there's a 10-minute timer right off the bat. So we'll just wait for that to count down.
And so you'll never play this game again.
Basically.
So you're just going to go off and you're going to play another game that you can play instantly.
And here are some real actual human opponents, I think. So we got Mango Mongoose. We got Seth with a pause. Oh, you think it's whispery?
Seth. Like a ghost.
I like that.
Tuzzle. These are some rad names.
Mithrace, and we got to decide on one to fight. Oh, here's another down here. Franklin Laser Blast.
Oh, don't fuck with that.
And
no.
Dr. Milk Dad. So obviously we're going for Dr. Milk Dad.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer right there.
Is that because he has the best name, and you just sort of want to like get some style tips from him?
It's because he has the best name. Dr. Milk Dad.
So is this map that we're looking at now the map from Sleeping Dogs?
Oh, straight up,
like
yeah. They've
limited,
got the Fulong Overpass, the karaoke place up top. It's all there.
Can you actually travel around, or?
Yeah. It here's about the point where it turns into an open world game, so you can just kind of like roll up in a car and drive, or kick a car.
Oh my god.
And
you
drive.
Just bent it like Beckham.
Sure did. And so, like, from here, like, these parts are weird because it's kind of straight up Sleeping Dogs, but I haven't found as much side stuff, and also you'll notice these red timers. So these are, that's how I get out of the car. Or, sorry, let me rephrase, that's how Pitbull gets out of his car. These timers, basically, when you go to them, are, like, sort of very short miniature missions that extend the time you have when you're raiding the other people's huts. So, like, I think normally I'd have 6 minutes to raid the dude's house, fight all his guys, and then fight him. but if I do this little optional side quest, then I get more time. That's basically
That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, and I mean, I've only done a few of them. There's been some variety in them, like here I gotta punch these dudes and open this lockbox where the cops show up. That's kind of the perpetual threat in this game, by the way. Like, everything you have to do, it's like the cops are gonna be here in 1 minute or 6 minutes, and you have to, I don't know how they are finding out about what you're doing, but that's what's happening.
Now, I can't help but notice that you're killing these men with a butchering.
I am. That is what I'm doing. But again, like, the game gave me a butcher knife as a reward for finishing the first mission, so I got it. That's on the game. So I'm trying to remember what are some of the other sort of rackets that I've run into. Most of them are just rephrased versions of fighting dudes. They've kind of taken up some of the mini games and some of the side questy stuff from Sleeping Dogs and repurposed it to be things that extend or shorten timers in various ways. But yeah.
Are you disappointed in what this game turned out to be?
Here's the thing. I think a lot of people were disappointed when they didn't just straight up announce the Sleeping Dogs 2 and said we're making an MMO. But I was kind of cautiously optimistic. So I was like, you know what? If they made a game that played like Sleeping Dogs but was actually massively multiplayer, that would be tight.
It would be tight, but it would also be like kind of hard to do, right?
Oh yeah.
Because it's not like GTA 5. We're bringing that online. It's just like it's GTA 5, but there's more people. Like there's a lot of like stylish slow-mo shit, and you know, I don't know that the basic combat system would work as well.
No, and what's weird is like the initial announced trailer they did for Triad Wars was like just the interview. It was like a dev diary interview thing where they were really excited and talking about it really. Like, it was this big, this is what they've been working on for years. Everyone's been wondering what they were making after Sleeping Dogs. It manages to not only not be Sleeping Dogs 2, it is also not really a multiplayer Sleeping Dog. Like, it's kind of neither. It's the Sleeping Dogs map with free-to-play stuff wrapped around it. And I don't know, I feel like that sounds harsh because the actual act of playing it is still fun. Like, the combat is still fun, but... Oh, check this out. You're gonna love this.
Nick! God damn!
It's so... They're like straight-up Mortal Kombat fatalities, like at a certain point.
I must have missed the net. Whoa!
I honestly just wanted to make this video maybe 2 or 3 minutes of stuff like that happening.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. I mean, but is it? I guess I can't because I'm not the one playing it. I can't really understand if it's actually like fun to play. If you think you will play it when it's out.
I mean, I think I'd rather play Sleeping Dogs, because it's just Sleeping Dogs, but with timers. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, the multiplayer stuff is very, very superficial, it seems like. You're never really interacting with anyone at this point, and at a certain point it's like, okay, it's a nice reminder that I like the way Sleeping Dogs plays. I could go play Sleeping Dogs and have kind of the same experience, but without the torso twisting stuff that this game has. That's Dr. Milk Dad, by the way.
He looks amazing.
He's great, yeah. He's earned his name.
So what you're saying is that they should have let Sleeping Dogs alone.
Is that what this is? Is that this whole video you pitched this just as a setup for that?
I'm sorry. I'm just like, I guess I'm disoriented from watching men lose their lives, and so, well, that was better than I thought it was going to be honest.
You thought it was going to zoom in and just show like his head,
the
be
shards like going into
brain.
his brain and like cutting his brain up and like destroying his memories of his first child's birth.
It jumps into like I kind of like this game you're setting up, like Mortal Kombat but with consequences. It's kind of an art game. I'm
gonna have you stop this video now before you put this man up on this hook.
I'm not gonna put the guy on the hook. I'm not gonna put the guy on the hook. Oh, I forgot. I actually
Thanks
did
for
put
watching,
the guy
everybody.
Yep, that was a look at Triad Wars. Maybe play it if you want to play Sleeping Dogs for free.